Hi guys, my name is Delali Apoh and I'm the content series lead for Ashesi Design Lab. So I have some special guests here with me today. Kindly introduce yourself, tell us a bit more about yourself, what you do. Yeah.
Alright, sure. So my name is Salia and I'm a student of Ashesi University studying business administration, and I like to call myself a creative social entrepreneur because I like to find creative solutions to problems in society. Wow. So this falls within the field of art and design, music, videography, architecture, and so on. So a couple semesters back, I embarked on this Green Buildings Challenge where we were tasked to come up with a sustainable building model. Wow. And we were able to come up second place. So it was a really cool journey for me, yes.
Yeah. Freda.
I'm okay. So my name is Freda Cheboy. I'm a computer science student at Ashesi. I am Kenyan and I'm enthusiastic about farming.
Wow. Okay, so we'll dive more into the project and why we are here today. So Salia, you are currently working on a D-Lab project. Yes. Can you speak more about that?
Definitely. So the D-Lab vertical farming project, it's run every semester and they help students on board to, figure out problems in society and find ways to use design thinking frameworks to come up with solutions using vertical farming. Yeah. So there are different other D-Lab projects. There's electric vehicle and other ones, but this is the one I chose to.
Vertical farming.
Yeah.
Okay. So what's vertical farming all about? I'm interested. Yes.
Yeah. So the vertical farming project is about. We are centered on the Brekusu community.
Oh, okay.
We are really interested in identifying the problem space, what is causing unsustainable food systems in communities like Brekusu, and how can we combine resources and people to come up with solutions that are very user focused and are able to scale to other communities. So that's why the design thinking framework is very essential, because it allows you to empathize with people, to understand what they are going through, immerse yourself in the society, then define the problem clearly so that you know what exactly you're tackling. Because in FD, we learned that wicked problems can seem very impossible to tackle, but once you know exactly what you want to focus your mind on, it will be easy to really do that. So we also have the team of students ideate various solutions that can be possible to solve this problem. Then we run tests, we come up with prototypes, and then see how best it can really achieve this.
Okay. So can you speak more about your problem statement and the DT frameworks you use?
So the problem statement, we use the point of view problem statement. And this is the sentence we are still currently working on it. But what we have so far is that young farmers of the Brekusu community are desperate to improve their farming efficiency with shrinking agricultural land space in urban areas.
Okay.
Yes. And
you mentioned that young people, are they entering the agricultural field?
Yes. So before we came up with this sentence, we had to do a lot of background research, like secondary research, ethnographic research. So secondary research is just understanding like this general scope of the industry, looking at articles, looking at interviews that other people have already done online on YouTube and all that, to really understand the scope. So the ethnographic research is where we immerse ourselves into the community through interviews, observations, immersions, where like you try and practice some of the things that they are doing so that you can feel what they feel and empathize with them properly in order to come up with user-focused problems. So the 3 barriers of entry we focused on were the lack of access to finance, these young smallholder farmers, the lack of access to land or ability to utilize space, because usually young smallholder farmers lease the land in Brekusu. They do not own the land. What happens is that most of the land is sold to real estate developers because they have more structure in their industry to build more value from the land.
So farmers they don't have much access to the land.
Yes.
So you looked into the Brekusu community. Yes. And you identified that problem.
Yeah, we learned that most of them lease the land. Okay. And now that they are fixing the road, Veracruz is going to urbanize very rapidly because more people have bought land here.
Okay.
And because farmers have low incomes, they've not been able to really secure the land for themselves as much.
Okay.
So we want to come up with ways to empower them. So we also noticed that they lack enough training on the modern, sustainable, and innovative farming techniques that can help them to thrive in this ever-changing climate. Because now it's becoming very difficult for farmers to predict when the rainfalls are going to come. I'm sure you've noticed that recently it's like a storm will be coming, then it will just disappear.
Yeah, it doesn't rain and all that.
Yeah, and like Hamatan seems to be coming back.
Exactly.
Yeah, so imagine, I have met a farmer who has once mentioned that he tilled the land and sowed all his seeds and everything, expecting it to rain.
But it did not.
Yeah, so he made a huge loss.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was a very devastating thing to learn about.
Wow.
Freda, I want you to say something too. What do you think are some of the stakeholders that can be involved when looking at the food system in Veracruz?
In vertical farming in Veracruz.
Well, I think the biggest stakeholders that we would like to consider are the young people in Veracruz. There's a lot of bias and a bad attitude towards young people getting into agriculture. I feel like even here in Ashesi, people do not know the benefits and opportunities that exist in agriculture, and they're immense, and people can actually make a lot of money out of it. And so, yeah, aside them, of course, are the smallholder farmers in Veracruz. Yeah, that's all that comes to mind at the moment.
Cool, yeah, those are really good ones.
So, and you mentioned that young people haven't been able to identify the opportunities in vertical farming or in agriculture.
Yeah.
So what are the benefits in agriculture? Why should young people venture into this field?
Every day we eat. Every day there's a huge need for food. We always eat. It's just that the food system is very broken because every time people are producing the food, alright, but the distance it will get from their farms to these on our plates, it takes a long process. Transport costs, middlemen.
Exactly.
It really tarnishes the ability for the people at the bottom of the value chain to make enough money. So we believe that if farmers are empowered in urbanizing communities, we can use preventive measures that will kick them out of the community, but instead of reactive measures. So we didn't focus on like going to Accra to build a vertical farm because there's not really enough space there, but there's still space here. So imagine you can grow a lot of food in a decent space, but also in an aerial space. You'll be able to make much more. And then once the place urbanizes, they will still be able to have enough income to own the land. So,
Wow.
yeah. And the value chain is vast. We have you can build restaurants, you can do so many things. I mean, I'm sure she also has an experience with knowing how agriculture is beneficial because I know she has invested in some farms.
I put my cash into like everything I had into an investment platform open, I think Farm 360 here in Ghana, and they have portions for students and investors to put their money as little as I think 5,000 Ghana cedis. Yeah, and you can put in your cash, and the returns you get is a lot. And so people don't know about those things that you can easily make money in agriculture just by seated in class. You can put your money somewhere, and in 6 to 8 months you get around 30 to 40% of interest.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because do you know that there's more returns on investments as compared to treasury bills and other forms of investing? Yeah, because I haven't invested myself, so I can't talk as much, but she has.
Yes, she has. So guys, check out the agricultural investment space. Anyway, let's dive in. So
I could just mention a few other stakeholders. We have, I mentioned real estate developers. I mentioned investors. Investors may find it like very risky to invest in agriculture if there isn't proper risk management. Like, if the farm is not well monitored and run.
What about the people in the community?
The community, there are people who need food. There are people who would want to sell some of the farm produce. So yeah, they will definitely be interested in how well
Yeah.
farms do well. And governments, they are there to subsidize these farms to help them to minimize their cost to improve their productivity. And farmers themselves are the stakeholders because they are part of it.
Okay, so can you share more stories? Because you mentioned you conducted interviews with your stakeholders. So can you tell us more about what you found out from the farmers? What do they exactly need? And what solution do they need right now? And all that.
Yes. So most farmers are usually middle-aged. So they've been farming for a long time and they are stuck to the older ways of farming. So they would clearly tell you that what they need is maybe pesticides, weedicides, things that can help.
Also, the traditional methods of farming.
Yes. They will just say that, we just need these inputs so that we can produce. But other younger smallholder farmers can tell you that they are interested in learning more ways to farm more efficiently because they've seen how their forefathers did these traditional ways and it didn't work for them. So they want to find more improved ways of farming.
Wow. For instance, you also mentioned that maybe they want, let's say, a system or an innovative solution, things like that, in order to better produce or maybe forecast. Because sometimes they want to be able to forecast and see how much they'll be able to produce within a year and all that.
Exactly. Yeah, there are various technologies out there that can help. From satellite data, you can help monitor the history of the land, the future projections of the land, how things are going to change. And with that data, you can create like a crop rotation schedule where you know that, this month it's not going to rain as much. So we can grow crops that do not need so much rain so that they can still make money in different months.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then your project is vertical farming. So what is vertical farming?
So then I guess I should send you to the solution.
Yeah.
So before we go to the solution, I want to tell you more about the other design thinking frameworks
the DT frameworks
we used. So I mentioned secondary research. We found an article about how the Brekusu youth abandoned farming for Okada business, petty trading to survive harsh economic conditions. This article talked about how agriculture is very difficult here because we're also in a mountainous area, so it's quite difficult to get water sometimes. So they just would rather go into an Okada business where they would make quick money because agriculture also takes time to reap its benefits. Yes. So then we move to the ideation stage. So we use something like the Disney 3 rooms. So I'm sure you're going to learn more about it soon. First, what happens is that everybody is in a room and we are all dreamers. We dream of the craziest ideas that we can think of to solve this problem. No boundaries, just dream big. So some of us were thinking, why can't we have like a vertical farm as tall as like the Burj Khalifa or something? Or like having, I don't know, just crazy ideas. So then we go to the realist stage, like which ideas can be possible, which ones can be scaled down to be achieved? Then we move to like the critique stage. Can this be afforded by these farmers?
Is it feasible?
Exactly. Would they understand this technology? Is it? Yeah, basically. Then we get to the prototyping stage, my favorite stage, where we get to do a lot of hands-on things like sketches, 3D modeling, physical models. I got to use Photoshop to try designing some certain things and all that. It was really cool. And so you can see on the slides, we have some sketches of a vertical farm that actually integrates fishes. So we learned that some smallholder farmers are going into livestock and fisheries because they've noticed that there's a rising demand for fisheries like catfish, tilapia. So they want to also contribute to that demand.
Have enough tilapia and catfish.
Exactly. So we thought of a circular economy model where the fish wastewater can be used to irrigate the plants so that the plants will filter the water and then send it back to the fish pond. So this helps to save over 90% of the water used,
Wow.
which will really help cut down their cost immensely over the
Okay.
years.
Interesting.
Yeah. And yes, we are so good at the design. Here's a 3D model of what we've been able to do. We also like to collaborate with other students in other universities because we know we need to all work together.
Expand, grow your network.
Exactly. So we worked with an architect in KNUST.
Oh, wow.
He's really brilliant. He helped us to do this design. Yeah. And then we go to the physical prototype. This is what we did last semester. It's just solely vertical farming. It doesn't include the fishes. So what it does is that we use resources that are easily accessible and affordable to these smallholder farmers because it's easier to find wood, easier to find soil, and easy to find plastic bottles, which are polluting the environment. So why not find something to contain these plants too?
Sustainability, guys.
Exactly. You see, that's what we are in for. So some of the feedbacks we learned was that the plants may not grow as big as we want because the roots may be restricted. So we'll try also growing normally on the ground to compare the sizes and just do more feasibility tests.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. So ever since you started, vertical farming, testing out your solution and all that, have you encountered any challenges so far?
Oh, a lot of challenges, especially being a student, having to balance that out with everything that we are doing. It's really not easy.
Freda, what about you?
What do you think?
I think finding time to water plants or even just meet for this project is tough, considering the intensive work we have to do as Ashesi. And then I think another problem that we might experience even this semester is now doing research, the scientific backing of research, because now we are computer science students. He's a
business student.
So there are certain things that are outside our reach, outside our scope. So we need to reach out to people. So it is a disadvantage, but it is an advantage because you also get to meet other people who are doing the same.
Yeah. And we believe that we can incentivize some of the students we work with by transforming this project into a social enterprise, like a business that can help at least give them stipends, pay them for their support and things like that. But we've not gotten there
we'll
yet.
Come to your company soon, don't worry. Okay, all right. So, have you gained any skills? Like, what skills have you gained as a result of pursuing this solution, this entrepreneurship?
Yeah, I think I've become a go-getter, become very well spoken as compared to when I don't know, I was very
I know you already, back in high school, but then now you are more outgoing because now you have to, join competitions, to pitch your business idea and all that. Freda, what about you?
I think I've been able to identify an interest I didn't know was there. Like initially when I came to Ashesi last semester, I wanted to do so many things from programming to maybe health, but being part of this project has allowed me to see that I really like agriculture and it's something I definitely want to do long time, even when I finish, because I feel like there's a lot of opportunity that to be foolish for me not to take advantage of what agriculture holds for me in the future. And I think one more thing I'd like to add is as I've done a lot of research into what I'd like to do for a career, and I think food security in Africa is one thing that is important to me. And so in the long run, I think because of this project and even through this project, I'll be able to build on that and improve on it.
That's nice. Amazing. So come to the end of Content Series episode 3. Thank you all for joining us today. Thank you for watching. And we'll be back with more in our next episode. So don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to like the video, and don't forget to share as well. So stay tuned for more. Bye guys.
Bye.